All right, hi fourth graders. So this morning we're going to be talking about ordering numbers from least to greatest. So the word least means the smallest and the word greatest means the largest. So when we are ordering numbers, we're going to be making sure that when we're doing it from least to greatest, that the smallest number comes first, and as we move along the list, the numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger until we reach the last number that we're ordering. It's really important to understand ordering numbers because as soon as we compare numbers, they're going to start getting bigger and a little more similar. So they may try to challenge you a little bit. So we're going to start with ordering some very basic numbers. So I'm going to start with a list that might look like this: 7, 0, 4, 12, 19, 2, and 25. So what these numbers represent, I don't know. Could be for anything. Could be a survey that we took. So they might give you a list of numbers and they'll say, we want you to order these numbers from least to greatest. So in order to do that, we have to start with the smallest number. So as we go through this list, we have to identify which number is the smallest and is going to be the start of our list. So when we looked here, we can see 0 is the smallest number. So that's going to be the first one when we order our numbers. And what I like to do is I like to cross off things that I've already used so I don't get confused or make a mistake and try to add it again. So we start off with 0. That is our smallest digit. Then we're going to go through and we want to find the next digit. Oh, 2. So I write 2. So as you can see, we started with 0 and now we're at 2. 2 is larger than 0. So as we move along, each number is subsequently going to get bigger. So I go through my list. Next number is 4. I cross it off. Next number is 7. Cross it off. And so on. 12, 19, and 25. So now we ordered it from least to greatest, the least number being 0, and the largest or greatest being 25. We typically will separate our numbers in a list with a comma, but that kind of depends on what your instructions are. So our numbers will start to get larger. So we're going to have another example. So we're going to order 149, 231, 85, 589, and 600. Okay, so the same deal. We learned yesterday with Miss Boyd that one way that we can check to make sure which number is greater or less than, we can stack them on top of each other. So we know that our smallest number is going to come first. So when I go through here, I see that all of the numbers except for 1 have 3 digits. So I already know that I'm going to put 85 as my first number. Now, if you want to be really sure that you are looking at each digit carefully, you can stack your numbers like this. And you always want to start when you're comparing numbers. In order to order them, you want to start with the biggest place value. So in this case, it is the hundredths place. So I'm going to go straight down. 1, 2, 5, 6. We already know, that's pretty clear to us, that 149 is smaller than the rest of these. So we're going to write 149 next, right here. And I've used it, so I'm going to cross it out. Then next, we're comparing the hundredths place, and we can see 231. And then next, 589. And then last is 600. Okay? But what happens when we have numbers that are similar or have similar digits? So it might get challenging, but remembering your place value and stacking them on is going to be very helpful. I'm going to erase this really quick. And why it's important to understand your place values is you might get numbers that look like this. Oh, not dry, which is okay. You might get numbers that look like this. And may have the same digits, just in a slightly different order. So we have 7,899, 7,000, 7,989 and 7,998. So you have those three numbers. And if you notice, they all have the same digits. They have 7s, 9s, and 8s. So you don't want to rush through and say, well, I know that they're already in order. You have to be sure, right? So one way to do that is, like we've done, is to stack them. Okay, so we're starting in the thousands place right now. In the thousands place, they all have a 7. So we can't tell which one is larger, which one is smaller by just looking at the thousands place. So we have to move over to the hundreds place. 9, 8, 9. So that tells me, oh, my smallest number is going to be the number that has an 8 in the hundreds place. So the first number is 7,899. I've used it, so I'm going to cross it off. Now we're going to compare our two remaining numbers, 7,000s, and then we're in the hundreds place. Well, both of these numbers have a 9, so we can't use the hundreds place to determine that. So now we're going to go to the tens place. Here we go. In the tens place, I have an 8, and in the tens place, I have a 9. This tells me that this number, 7,989, is smaller than 7,998 because there's a 9 in the tens place here and an 8 in the tens place there. So now we have ordered our numbers from least to greatest in ascending order. So smallest, then gets bigger, then gets bigger. So hopefully that makes some sense. You've learned some skills, and remember our symbols: greater than, less than, equal to. Have a great day, 4th grade.